like to call the Planning Commission meeting to order. All members are present, so we have established a quorum. I do need to administer an oath if there are a couple cases on the agenda, so if anyone plans on speaking during those cases or during communications, I do need you to swear to this. So, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth to the best of your knowledge to this commission? Say, I do.
I do.
All right, thank you. And then when you do, we're going to have you come up either to the podium or the table is also mic'd, and just state your name, and that would be sufficient. All right, we have a couple cases, but first disposition of the last meeting minutes.
I move we accept the minutes of, May 16th.
Second.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Well, that's great. See, we're just going to be flying through, don't worry. We do have two cases. Number 1306 as requested by John Valentour, it's Union Street Development, Title 401, and we also have number 1307. It's requested by John Mazur.
I would like to move that we move the amended agenda to switch cases in order because the lot split will probably be a shorter duration.
All right, does anyone have an issue with that?
No.
All right.
Is there a second on that?
Second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, look at this. Case number 1307, John Mazur, 42 Utah Place. It is a request for a lot split. Packet looks like this, has the application for minor subdivision on the front, if you have that in front of you. Mr. Paskey, as you typically lead us in these lot split discussions, could you provide a brief summary?
I can. This one's not quite as easy as it sounds, but we'll go from there.
Easier than last one?
About the same.
Okay.
Mr. Mazur, is it pronounced Mazur?
Mazur.
Mazur. He owns the residence at 42 Utah right now, and there's a total of 5 parcels there. You can really tell it best on the Athens County GIS drawing or page that I put in your packet. The 4 lots facing Utah are actually in the city limits. The lot to the rear is not. It's a township lot. So what he's requesting to do is the furthest lot to the south and 20 feet of the second lot just to the north of that would be a new lot in essence that would be in a city, that lot alone, standing alone, would meet the city's bulk control requirements of 8,000 square feet and 66 foot wide. But they also want to take in a portion of the township lot to the rear that would be attached to it.
Is that an annexation then, or?
Well, Mr. Logan and I discussed this, and we went through, and I talked to the county auditor's office. They will continue to do 2 tax cards on the property, but it was okay with them to put it all on one deed. And I worked with Mr. Mazur's attorney, Bill Walker, represented him, and we come up with the idea of attaching a. Did I copy the wrong thing? Okay. Attaching in the deed, there it is, okay. The statement at the end, which works for the county auditors and I think works for us. It's the bold statement at the end where it states the above 3 tracts, that would be the full southernmost tract in the city, part of the second one, and part of the township parcel. The above 3 tracts set forth in the above survey shall remain contiguous and continuous, and the township parcel shall be subject to the City of Athens zoning and bulk control regulations. So this will prevent anything from being built on there separately that we would not have any regulations over, that would be accessed through the city property in the front. And as long as that covenant is held in the deed, then everything should be okay, based on what we talked to the auditor's office about.
Okay, when you say the above 3 tracts, you're talking about the ones that are the 3 that have been split off.
There are, when they say above 3 tracts, we got the full parcel that is the 700 lot. That's the.
Can you go back and see maybe this one, which is numbered?
No. Go to the
This one.
this page. Yeah. Okay. This parcel here.
Okay, so this is one parcel.
Yes, and then you see the dotted line going across. That would be 20 foot of this parcel, and then a piece here.
What is that structure that's, it's going to be...
It's a swimming pool, it's no longer there.
Okay.
I did it off of the 2007 aerials because they're better pictures.
Okay, so that's not there.
How did he have access to what appears to be a landlocked parcel in the back here?
Through here, because that
Dalton.
Is
Dalton
platted.
doesn't end there?
well, but.
It does pavement-wise, but
Pavement-wise
platted-wise.
does, but platted-wise doesn't, right. So, and the deed, the parcel thing, it's the very last page. I
This one
think.
right here?
The very last
Yeah, that-
page. We'll be able to kind of explain it better.
Okay.
So this would be, or the name is the full parcel, and then you got the 20-foot of the parcel
Right.
just to the north of it, and then you've got.
Oh, so when they say 3 parcels, you're probably these 3 parcels?
Yeah,
Three
okay,
parcels.
yeah.
Even
so
though
that-
2 of those parcels are
Are
actually in
parcels.
the city limits already.
On this far northern piece, what structure is that the one you were just talking about?
No.
What is this?
That's a garage. That's the driveway, for it,
Okay.
and that's the house right
Okay.
now. So this will remain his residence, this will be the new parcel. Where you can see the dotted line right there.
So, playing this out, I assume this is in order to sell this parcel for a
For a
single-family home?
Single-family house, and that's what we,
And bulk controls allowed.
that's why we said the bulk controls will apply to the entire parcel.
All right, so bulk controls would apply, like you said, to the entire parcel. What we're basically requesting is that we split off a 20-foot wide section of one lot. It would be lot 2521, correct? 2521 would have 20 feet wide to the south taken off of it. So that would be the lot split. And then the new
Where's he
deed,
getting 2521?
I'm looking at the...
Oh, okay.
map.
Yeah.
Well, it's also listed on the new survey, or.
Right, yeah.
Back too.
And then, so what, the township lot split, does that have to occur first before we can deed it to part of this, to one
It's
deed of the
not-
city?
It's just going on the deed as tied together, but there will remain 2 separate parcels through the auditor's office. One will be the city parcel.
But they're gonna split this from the northern section of the township, right?
Correct.
Parcel.
In essence, we're almost as if we're treating this as 2.
That's what I was gonna
lot
say,
splits.
2 lot
One would be
splits.
the 20-foot piece that's in the city, and then the other would be the township piece that would be like a 3-mile lot split. But we're requiring that that township piece be held continuous and contiguous with the city piece. Otherwise, it would have to go through council and everything else for variances, because it's landlocked, doesn't have street frontage, et cetera.
Right.
But by being held continuous and contiguous with the city parcel, then, and meeting the bulk controls. When the developer comes in to build a house, it's very likely, if they wish to build the house back towards the rear of the city property line, that will probably make them get a variance for it, because it'll still meet the bulk controls for the
Right.
city property, and that's something I'll go over with you. The bulk controls will still apply on the city parcel, per se.
Not on the township parcel?
But we tied it in, it says that they have to apply on the township parcel as well.
It's a very
See-
deep lot. It's 75 by 167.
Mr. Mazer, could you come up to the mic, just so it doesn't get picked up on the video, I apologize.
Where would you like me? Over here?
That's fine.
Whichever you feel more comfortable. We can hear you, it's just the microphone doesn't pick it up, so,
Okay.
thank you.
I currently get 5 tax cards today,
Right,
and the property, that property will still continue to get 4 tax cards. And I would assume that the lot split, that they will get 3 tax cards.
They'll get 2,
Will it be 2?
yes.
Because the 20 feet is going to be
Okay,
deeded in,
combining the
melded.
The 2 city lots,
Combined.
they'll get 2, and there'll still be 4 tax cards on the original property.
so there'll be 6 tax cards in all?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue with that part. I think it's just a little bit with the writing. I think I know exactly what you're trying to do, but it sounds like, where it says The above 3 tracts set forth in the above survey shall remain contiguous and continuous, and the township parcel shall be subject to the City of Athens zoning and bulk control regulations. It seems to set off the township parcel from the 3 tracts, but it is one of the 3 tracts.
Is it correct?
So I think it's just the arrangement of the sentence, because to me, I would be concerned with, it says, and the township parcel shall be subject to, it's almost treating it like a separate.
A fourth.
Yeah, that now you gotta figure out, here's a lot in the back that is the township parcel that's now.
Well, I didn't write it, keep it.
But it is indeed remaining a separate parcel,
Right.
correct?
That township piece will
Yes.
remain a separate parcel.
Somehow we want to treat the whole, yeah, the whole contiguous. It's almost saying like the contiguous parts, including the township parcel, this section of this section of X as described above, is all as one entity subject to the bulk controls.
Right.
Not as each separate parcel is subject to.
And this, what Paul's recommendation is, when he sells it and a new person comes to build, they may want to request to annex that piece in and clear this whole thing up.
Yeah.
That might be the simplest thing, but if that did not happen, this still gives us the power, basically, to not allow a ball bearing plant to be built on that little piece of property
Well,
behind them, or a welding shop or something like that.
They are planning on building a very beautiful brick home, and my guess, just from our conversations, is that it will be built, it's a little lower in the back. My guess is that most of it will be there, the bulk of it, maybe all of it, will be built on city property.
Yeah,
It brings to mind utilities. You know, we have in terms of our rates,
Right.
you pay a higher rate if you're outside the city. So, I mean, these are just some things that we have to consider, is
Sure.
where it's located.
That would depend on where the house is actually built. I asked them how that works at the auditor's office, and they told me it's based on where the master bedroom is at in relation to which parcel actually gets the house
Okay.
listed to it. So,
The access from the power line is actually in the back of the property.
that's,
I'm sorry, I was, city services like water,
Water,
sewer,
sewer.
you know.
Water and sewer are obviously right at the street.
Yeah, I guess well, are we servicing a house that's built in the township side or the city side is the question. The question I have is why don't we just annex it? Wouldn't that be cleaner?
in the long run, I think that's probably the best solution. I think there's some time constraints involved here that would take some time there.
It does look like you
I'm sorry, I
have,
didn't hear the question.
Why, okay, the simpler process would be to annex that back parcel and then split everything after the fact. I'm hearing from John over here that it's time constraints that are actually driving this. I assume this sells that lot.
Yes.
Okay. Would you be adverse to annexing that last lot? I mean, you've got part of it too. You'll have three quarters of it, and they'll have 1/4 of this lot when all done. Do you have any objection to annexing that back lot?
I don't know what it involves, and I'm not sure that I do have an objection. I don't know why I would. It's been this way I've lived there for 10 years.
Yeah.
And actually never did realize that, I knew I got 5 tax cards on it, but I never realized that part was in the city and part was in the township.
Okay.
It's always just, it's our yard, you know.
if I may, Mayor, the annexation process would take a considerable amount of time. It seems to me you have a willing buyer right now, based on the way this general warranty deed is
Yes.
presented to us.
Okay.
All of those parcels that run,
All the way down through.
that same size parcel that run north and
Utah?
south,
Yeah.
off
All
of
have
Utah,
it.
those are all outside the city limits. The house to the immediate south of Mr. Mazur's is already straddled half and half.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say
a very
that.
large English Tudor mansion
Yeah.
style.
Okay.
There's portions of that, the actual physical home that are within that township area today, and some of the other homes on that stretch are the same way right now.
Okay. My concern
I think
is
the whole
that,
neighborhood is like that, really.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I guess my concern is that means there's an opportunity to put a billboard in every backyard, and that's the problem I have.
Well, at least not
Well,
on
not
this
on this lot.
property.
On this,
see?
it'll be- it is
Because-
I know.
okay.
One half lot at a time. Quarter lot at a time.
I mean, I guess the other thing is, why could we just have all of them be subject to bulk controls?
all of,
The remaining three-quarter
No
township
restrictions on that as well, since we're splitting both lots. Technically, we're splitting one lot from the other.
we would, a new deed will have to be written for that parcel.
Yes, yeah.
Which isn't here today, because that's not part of the split, but
I guess I feel that the intent is for a single-family home to be
Yeah.
built in there.
I-
And in order to, I get, we might be twisting a little, but we've got some good language in there in order to expedite this so that
Yeah.
this gentleman can sell and these other property owners can build. So,
Okay, so a motion?
is that a motion?
Is that a motion to accept the lot split? The only, I'd like to see
Except
some...
the lot split in the new deed, right? Or I guess it's really just lot split. New deed's not up to us.
Presented in
All right.
LS 13007.
Can you promise not to put in a billboard on the other three quarters, and I think everyone will be satisfied.
That I will do.
Yeah. Unless it's for the sale of the... All right, any other questions?
I second it, but I was hoping that we could just put in LS 13 and then 5007, just to reference that, this document.
This minor lot split
Yeah.
application?
Yeah. Yes, I mean,
I accept that amendment there. I would second that.
what are we doing?
What was that again?
just putting in the reference number to this,
Okay.
That's easy.
which has the new deed. Oh, goodness, I didn't mean to start something. Not at all. Here, just the one that has this in it, which is
Okay.
yours, and the new deed.
Yes,
That's what, so it would,
okay, and you want to do what to it?
it's just going to reference that
Just
in
at the
there.
very end, I want to say per
Okay.
application LS.
Okay,
I mean, it's just like closing the,
Oh, I see.
New-
You're referencing the permit.
Annex,
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Min-
it's, okay, because we don't have a deed yet that's been worked, done. And he has a
One
certi-
It could be recorded.
concept that also was just kind of brought up was, what about if the purchaser of the lot that's you're going to be selling off and with the lot split, if they were to seek annexation, I think we would probably, through the code office, contact you and say, hey, they're going to be seeking annexation. Would you consider annexing your other lots as well?
Good idea.
And then that way, in future, if you were going to sell off parcels.
I am moving back to Wisconsin,
Okay.
so the house is being, is
So that lot's going to be
being
sold?
listed.
Okay,
So the same thing will come up
okay.
there. My wife
So
died
they should be
last
annexed
summer, my
jointly.
kids are in Wisconsin. I'm on disability, I have no ties left.
Okay.
And,
Well,
you know,
the
so-
future homeowners will come knocking, I
If
guess.
there's anything that you need from me,
That's
I'll
good.
certainly cooperate.
Okay,
And the
Okay.
people that are buying this lot are very reasonable.
okay. All right, well, I appreciate it. Any other questions, Nancy or Jay? Paul?
Nope, thanks.
Okay.
All right, so we just request, so far, it's just asking for the amendment to include this application with the,
The permit
But just
number.
or the permit number, I'm
reference.
sorry, in reference. Anything else? All right, if there's no other...
Put the annexation in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think is there any way that this can be flagged, or...
When, I'll remember it, when they come through to, which I think is going to happen pretty quickly to build the house, I'm going to make the recommendation that he looks to annex this, and like we've done some others, whether it's right or wrong, then have it done within that policy that,
2 years.
Does that mean that they'll get one tax card?
when everything's
After
said.
they
and done.
When they
That would be
annex
nice.
it, buy it.
Yeah.
And actually,
Don't
you can do
promise that.
in
I
your
don't think you can
parcel, too.
guarantee
Buy
it.
all yours, so you get one.
It would be nice.
We can talk about that, I'll help
Okay.
you out on
Oh, I don't think that works. I tried to get it.
All right, well, I guess we'd make the recommendation that they would annex the other lots, and it'd be nothing more than a recommendation. I guess, does everyone second that, adding the preferencing
I
permit,
second that.
or recommending annexation? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? No? All right, any further discussion?
Good luck in
Thank you.
Wisconsin.
Okay, so the lot, just to make sure I'm clear, the lot split is approved.
Yes.
It has been.
And in the listing, contract, I should tell the real estate agent that anybody buying it should apply to have this annexed.
I'll go
And
through that
that you'll greet that with an open mind.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. all right.
Consul's an
Thank you very
automatic.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to case number 1306. is brought forth by John Valentor as Union Street Development. It is a Title 41 site plan review. John, are you also leading us in the discussion on this item?
David Moran is here representing John Valentor today. John's out of town, but as you may remember, we talked about this project briefly at the last Planning Commission meeting. This is for the current parking lot just to the west of the former HDL Center. I guess it has a new name now. Where they wish to build a 8,700 square foot office building. Just going through briefly, you can see that the property is zoned M and R3. The lot was actually split in its zoning, but the area where the building is to be proposed is zoned M. Speaking with Andy and anyone else, traffic should not be an impact on West Union. Occasionally, they have a large cargo van truck delivery that comes to the rear. I know the drawing indicates a tractor trailer there, but they indicate that's not really accurate, that it could be like a UPS type truck is what they get coming back there. And the access to that will be off of the Roberts Road, to going through behind the building. And then the access for the parking will be in an existing curb cut that's already there on West Union. As I mentioned before, the HDL Center is to the east of the building. It's single-family and residential behind it, to the north of it, and there will be no access from Bayard behind it coming into the rear of the lot. Ohio University owns the property across the street, and just to the west of it is some single-family, multifamily.
Is there anything being demolished now, or is it a vacant lot?
It is a vacant lot. They are tearing up the parking lot right now.
Oh, so it is that portion of the parking lot on the other side of the, okay. I know where it is now, okay.
As I stated, it is an 8,750 square foot office building to rehouse some of the occupants of the current or recently sold HDL Center. And everybody has reviewed it within the city staff. As I stated before, you can see where it's zoned M and R3. It does meet all the bulk control requirements. They needed to get a bicycle rack in as per the bicycle pedestrian plan, and I believe it's indicated on this drawing that you have up there with you now that they did put that in. They went to the Shade Tree meeting, Shade Tree Commission last Thursday evening. They were required to put in 38 trees. A final plan was to be provided, and that's what has been brought here today. I have not presented it back to the Shade Tree, but I can tell you after being in the meeting, they did do what was being asked of them with the center island of trees running down the middle to accommodate. And by leaving, they're recognizing that there are 4 existing trees at the front along West Union and about 10 trees to the very rear of the property that are being counted as existing trees on the property. The fire department's comments were the standards, the lockbox, etc. Sprinkler system, the chief asked about, this building would not be required to have fire suppression system because it falls underneath the square footage requirements required for this type of construction and use. Therefore, no alarm system will be in it as well. It will not have any access off of Schaefer, and eventually, when everything's ready, when they fill for the applications, I will address it at 190 West Union. That falls in line with all the addresses out there, and we do have room for that. Police Department, I need to make note that it does say on here, Chief Tom Pyle, Captain Harvey did the evaluation on it, thought I'd give him kudos for it here. He was concerned about some of the lack of parking lot open space lighting. There has since been given to these comments a lighting plan actually provided, and you can see there are numerous lights now in the front parking lot on that plan as well, but there's actually been a calculated lighting plan done that I have here, so the lighting should not be an issue anymore. His comments on the trucks were the same as a lot of people's. They saw that large tractor trailer on the drawing, and I've been told that that is not the case, that it's smaller trucks, and if that is the case, then he did not have a concern, is what he stated to me. And then the curb line between the property and the HDL Center, it's not being connected. There is going to be a barrier between the HDL Center. Right now, there's curb blocks out there, and that will be taken out, and it'll be a landscape barrier put in between the two. City planner, sitting here next to me, stated he had no comments no issues with the project. And Andy Stone, Director of Engineering and Public Works, you can see he has a few comments noted here to the rear. Most of them can be very easily dealt with at the end. Some of them were fire suppression related, and since there's not even a fire suppression system, that's not an issue. Others are just calculations and et cetera that will be done on the final drawings. So,
John, is that curb cut at the southeast corner, is that existing or new?
I'm sorry.
Is this one,
I think they're all existing.
they're all existing? Okay.
They have a smaller version of it.
Is it wide enough as far as the curb cut?
Out here, the existing curb cut on West Union.
Yeah, because that's like an older cut.
Come on up, Dave.
I believe I measured it, it's 24 to 26 feet in length on Union Street.
And that's Roberts.
No, that's the one that comes directly into the property.
Okay.
I don't know what the Robert Street curb cut is.
Roberts was supposed to be the one that the trucks were probably going to be using?
The trucks will likely come in off of Roberts and go straight down the west property line.
So that's what I was asking, is that wide enough? Because that's an older street.
It's a platted right of way. I don't know what the width is off the top of my head.
But you're saying that, you just think it's UPS, not...
Right. They have only a few deliveries a year of paper products.
Okay.
I have here is the tax plat showing Byard as 24 feet, but whether or not that's centered in the right-of-way, that may not be.
You mean Roberts?
Oh, no, that was Byard. I don't have Robert's, darn.
According to the landscaping plan, 1 inch equals 30 feet, if it's to scale.
Yeah.
The landscaping plan you submitted here, and it looks like it's under an inch, but I'm just
I'll
guessing.
be right about one.
Never scale the drawings.
Well, that graphic representation of that truck is only 50 feet in length. It isn't it looks like a trailer truck, but it's not, so.
Okay.
But it could be, right?
Well, no, they'll never deliver one that size.
Well, I mean, it's not a promise you can make, is it?
Yeah, I can't speak for the tenant.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't hold, you couldn't even stop a residential from...
Not very
They wanted
much.
to put a trailer, so...
The Lottery Commission, which is going to occupy this building, currently is in the HDL Center, and they have no problem with deliveries at this point in that facility, and that's tighter.
No, here's Roberts.
That's harder to get in.
That does look 20. Good job.
Are we open for questions for Nicholas?
Yeah, what was that name?
Are you open for questions?
Absolutely, please.
I went down Robert Street when I went looking at it, and the right-of-way does not continue. I mean, it may continue, but the improvements do not continue.
Where, did they halt it? Was it Colson?
that?
Colson, you turn left, yeah.
It takes a dog leg on Colson, and the rest is actually parking lot again.
Right.
Right.
So are you concerned that we got shredded with trucks?
Right. Well, I think it depends on the size of the truck, once again. I know Robert, on the other side, was a concern because it's basically a layer of bricks, and now this one has some asphalt on it.
It's pretty chewed up, more in Roberts on the other side.
On the other
South
side, it's really
West
chewed up,
Union,
yeah. So my past experience was that it was a concern because of the use.
see it
It's like
here.
uptown where it's a layer of
stops
clay,
right there.
bricks, and then asphalt.
Right,
A recipe for
another one.
potholes.
Roberts.
right.
Doesn't work. Okay.
Were you concerned about the runoff?
Here's the,
Well, with the-
Roberts from inside the parking, looks like an
Looking
HDL.
back out towards you.
Here it is again.
Yeah. And so if it's right-of-way, and I guess the other tenant on the other side is OU?
On that same...
Yeah, the other lot?
No, Roberts.
No.
No, on the other side of Roberts to the west.
That's not a right-of-way.
No.
That's an entrance. That's just a curb cut, I think.
Okay.
The remaining parcel of that is still Harold Laughlin's.
Same ownership.
Same ownership. When he said OU was across the street, across
No,
Union Street.
I
But no, that other configuration all the way out to Schaefer Street is still Harold Laughlin's property.
And there's a component that's got a utility.
Right, he leases that to, I think, a data internet company or...
Frontier.
Frontier?
Or Horizon put that in.
Yeah.
They needed a permit right away.
Booster station. and
Yeah,
all of it.
he's already leasing that, he still owns that property.
Open ditch that came along here, but according to
I guess
this,
I
they
wonder
closed
if
it. They
the
probably
better
didn't
truck
even
route
close
wouldn't
that.
be to turn in at the
Sidewalk.
southeast
So,
corner, West
I don't know,
Union,
it says it's pretty small.
go through the parking lot and then out
But this one was,
Colson.
like this.
Just make a,
And I think they just
Not
did
any
that.
better.
is that,
No, and that's
just a
a,
straight shot?
That's the way things go.
Colson's actually worse. The line of sight is bad for Colson. Colson, Schaefer, you can't see it going over the hill there.
How about the turn radius?
It's probably not adequate either.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're only talking UPS truck, it's one thing, but if
Yeah.
it's
I mean, I
something,
guess
more-
would it just be as simple as signage?
I don't know. I mean, it has, somebody will have to move
truck
the pole
entrance
maybe.
only, or...
Or no, yeah.
No through truck.
So in other words,
trails.
as it currently stands.
Bad
Oh my God.
loan.
So in other words, he's just going to be going on his property back there because the right-of-way does not continue, is that what you're saying?
You're talking about Roberts.
Yeah,
He could go all the way back to his building on Roberts, and that's a platted,
right-of-way, yeah.
It's not,
But then now it's a driveway,
right
right?
now, it's a parking lot.
I'm in a parking lot, I'm sorry.
So he could continue on to
Yeah.
Strand,
Yeah, so he could go in
or
and,
BR.
probably, if it needs to be improved, that's another conversation entirely.
Right.
Between the street, public works and
Huh?
Costa-Lawson.
I don't know. I would contend it would be on the developer.
Yeah, you would normally have the developer do it.
I was
For
trying to be
improvements.
diplomatic.
I think that's it.
Well, if you remember from the last meeting, and it's something they do have a detail in there, and David can speak more to it, where the property line is from the property line over the parking or something, they were gonna do like a 24-inch
24-inch
wide concrete
concrete apron.
curb that, with hope, they're hoping it goes up to the edge of the pavement to make that a little bit wider there at Robert Street. The issue would be is if the pavement doesn't come all the way to the edge of the right-of-way line, then there'd have to be some agreement between the developer and the city as to letting them actually pave, like you're saying, part of Robert Street, if that's what they wish to do. So there's an issue there that would still need to be worked out between EPW and the developer.
On this parcel, for this
No, I
development,
didn't see that.
there are 2 curb cuts that are existing that remain.
That is correct.
Okay.
Actually, one.
Yeah.
Only one on the property, the other's the street.
Yeah, the other's the street.
Correct. 1, all right. There has been some concern noted about this being brought in this piece, and is there going to be a future piece building dropped on the other piece, and how that really conforms to the city regulations, or should it?
It's a big empty lot that's not being occupied, and he owns that property, and there's the potential for apartments or some,
There is.
you know.
Yeah, so, I mean, the only thing that's happening here is that's existing, are the islands new? I'm sorry, I'm pointing, you can't see.
Yeah.
On the southern part, are the islands new?
The islands-
Trees, right?
Yes, would
But
be
the
all
Tree
new,
commission.
even, all 3 islands would be new.
Right, but the parking, this is just the parking for this tenant.
That's the only parking
Whereas this parking is
required.
not for that tenant,
Right.
correct? Okay.
He would just be leasing out,
Right.
renting those, which are empty right now.
Right, right. No, so they could conceivably put in another property that has its own parking that,
Right.
right, that's,
So the
We
question was-
only need 30 parking spots for our building.
okay.
I'm getting over parking, sort of, but the question was, why is this not a planned unit development?
Yeah.
PUDs are not required in the B and M zones.
Well, there you go.
So, the other part is an R3. I suspect they'll request a lot split before they develop it, that part of it.
So it'd be viewed as its own
It'll be
separate.
reviewed as an R3 project, definitely, if they decide to put multifamily in.
Right.
With the parts that goes on out to Schaefer.
I'm not really enamored with opening up that gate on Schaefer. I mean, that becomes an intersection that has, what, 6 parts, Schaefer North and South, University Commons,
There, it's my
Washington.
guess,
5
just
points.
just through my recommendation and talking to him, that the Roberts Street access, I think what I've indicated to him in long-term is to continue that as an easement all the way to the rear of the property. That way, the trucks that would go behind the building would be on an easement going to the back of this building, and then it would also provide access to the proposed multifamily someday that faces out on the Schaefer. But again, that's all speculation right now.
But
What's
it
the
is,
proposed? You're saying this kind of anvil shape is the proposed?
Yeah.
but is this the right of way or is it
Where does
not? I
the-
keep thinking.
Because you're saying Schaefer, and I'm like, what's Byron?
This, I suspect
Oh,
someday.
so it's not
Right.
an easement, it's the right of way. He
This
doesn't.
would be
Yeah.
split right
Yeah,
here.
that one, I
This
want
is
to hear. And
R3.
it's clear, but if the
And
right of way
this becomes-
continues, then it's ours, it's not.
This and
Yeah, it's very close to the.
Roberts does not go all the way to Bayou? Is that what
No,
you're telling me?
Roberts.
It's plotted, but it
stops at, no, it does not.
Oh,
It
it's
stops
a-
right here at Colson.
No, but
I was
it's,
trying to
but
say
it's
earlier.
platted, but it's on the plat as the city right of way, right?
No, I don't.
That's what I'm
it
hearing,
stops.
is that's what I
No.
thought, it stops.
Boy, it is confusing if that's the
It
case.
stops right there.
Well, we can't,
It stops at Colson.
So then
even
it
though he
becomes
owns the
private
property. Yeah. That isn't acceptable. I mean, it's just too loosey-goosey. What about the future? And the other thing is, look how close those apartments are to that building. I mean, now it's UPS truck. What happens when it becomes a, Semi.
What are the semi-trailers parked there doing? Is this like?
Storage.
They're filled with metal studs that is going to be built into this building. He had a building a few years ago that he was considering putting on that site. It never happened, but he had a great deal on a big pile of metal studs, and that's what's in those trailers. And they're 12-foot metal studs that we're going to use in this structure.
So basically, you got those trailers back there on Roberts.
Yes, right,
I
correct.
think.
But walking through this mentally, we would only be able to direct to the end of the right-of-way.
If that's
And then
where it
it
ends.
becomes private property
Correct.
Yeah.
outside that, all right.
If he
Just
splits it,
wrap-
it would be, wouldn't
Well, I-
landlock the Schaefer, but it would not be a preferred entrance.
What is that noise?
Can we just on an R3, I mean,
camera
say we
moving.
see the R3
Camera moving.
development
Oh,
comes up
okay.
at some future point. I mean, would that not be the time to say, you know,
You'll need
there's-
to improve this roadway.
we'll need to create you need to deed part of this, 24-foot section, and that will be a right-of-way for the city of Athens, for your property, Roberts Road.
But what if he sells it tomorrow? Then the access to the back is non-existent.
Well, right now, he can't sell it without doing a lot split.
I meant the new building.
Split, I mean.
It's still the same thing.
In this one.
It's still, this is his parking lot all the way over right now. For his trucks come in Roberts, and from the intersection of Colson and Roberts, driving through his parking lot to be behind the building.
It would be much cleaner if we had that established pathway right now.
Yeah, I guess that's, so
I mean, it's just too loose.
I don't think we can. I'm back to, and I heard what you were saying, that when they come back with the, if and when in the future for the other
because I
project.
don't think it's as big of a problem with this one until you get something else here, but I mean, I understand you try to achieve it now.
Unless he's treating it like an industrial park or something.
Well, what I heard was that then they'd have to improve and make it a public right-of-way. I don't think they would have to make it public. Yes, in the future, we could make them have the improvements for the access, but it's not something you turn over to the city for maintenance.
No, the city doesn't need it, but it needs to be there
Okay.
for use. And I know you say, well, in the
City
future,
needs
they'll
it.
cut it out, but what if somebody doesn't remember? I mean, things like that have happened before. I mean, I think it's just so it's all his property right now, so in 5 years it changes. Some of us aren't
Something
here.
like that also, I think, maybe reinforces keeping the gate shut on Schaefer.
Well, we really,
Again, I don't know that we can apply it to this proposal. That's just what I'm struggling with.
Well, I think that couldn't he allocate a 24-foot swath on the continuation of his property for access to the back? I mean, he made the choice to make a big building that takes almost the entire width of the lot. That's his choice. He could have turned it around, he didn't. the developer or the owner. Okay, so that choice meant that we're throwing and I guess I've been around long enough to be skeptical of the future without some kind of nailing this down.
Is it a separate parcel?
No.
No, they're all one
It's
parcel.
not one parcel.
Okay,
It's all-
I know, but
that's-
5 years from now.
Parcel with two
I'm
zoning
not,
designations.
hold on, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing this as one parcel, because there's clearly a property line that's running all the way down this.
Yeah, so,
But it is one parcel.
yeah.
So what is the property?
See, it says property
I'm looking at
line, Don.
PL, property
It
line.
says property line.
Okay,
That's incorrect.
Yeah, that's in,
That is not the property line. That might be, that's the site plan line, but that's,
Yeah, that is incorrect.
we're trying to show that area,
Extended the project.
Yes.
Okay,
Project
Right.
line then?
yeah, project
that-
line. I was reading as property line, so that's why I was so confused on this.
we're implying that 30 cars, not the whole lot, is our site.
Right, okay.
It didn't work with the tree commission, and so we have
Oh,
to
so
put
this is
in,
like I get, okay, I understand now.
we're saying we
Sorry.
only should have to put trees in for this
Right.
area, not his
So it-
parking lot, but we ended up, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, hats off to
So
you guys.
it's really just a leftover parcel, then, I mean, more or less.
It's not left over.
It's one big, kind of dog-leg shaped
Yeah.
parcel that coincidentally is, half of it was zoned M, the other half is zoned R3. They're building this building on the M, the access still comes in through their parcel. If someday they wish to put residential on the other part without doing a lot split, we will have to do the PUD because of the mixed, I guess, is how we'd have to look at it on the zoning, but if they do a lot split, then the R3 becomes its own parcel, and at that point, without a doubt, we would make sure that that access continues. It's possible their lot split actually occurs on what would be the west boundary of Robert Street, so therefore, they would have enough room to
You mean a
decide.
continuation of the west boundary, don't you?
Correct. A
Okay.
continuation of the west boundary could be with a line that we'd make the future lot split when they do come in to request that.
Right.
And you're absolutely sure that Robert Street does not go all the way back,
When I
according to
pulled-
the deed?
It's all one parcel, according to the deed.
Well, I mean, there've been stranger things than that.
We found one on this.
Where right-of-ways are in the middle of parcels and they're all one
Right.
parcel. But I mean, the deed is the only place where you'd find
We
it.
actually found out that the triangular piece behind the HDL Center, the current HDL building, has the same tax parcel number as this parcel does.
Nice.
But I spoke with the county auditor's office on that, and that was a mistake from 1993 or whatever, so that's been, since been fixed. So,
So it sounds like what I'm hearing, the biggest concern that the planning commission has is with what's the size of the truck, should be forbidden, no trailers on the site because of the size of the existing right-of-ways, and should an easement be given that it allows, through the parcel, allows Roberts Road to continue all the way to Byard Street?
I don't think we can do that.
Sure, you could require you could require an easement, couldn't you? Because, I mean, I'm just afraid this will go.
Why do we require easements, I guess? If
Well,
there
I
isn't a-
you'd be asking for an easement to yourself, for yourself, through your own property.
No, for him, it's not going to be the city's.
I know, that's what I mean. It's to himself, for himself, on his own property.
He'd be
It'd
defeating
It'd be a
himself.
city easement.
No,
No.
don't want a
doesn't
city
to
easement,
make
because then the
it.
city becomes...
Next parcel split.
This looks like.
Why don't we want a city easement? I mean, hear me, my concern is like either our concern is with, if it's just with the people on the property, then we shouldn't care how the residential, if it's the future residential people that build here, how they get out, or how this M-zone space gets out. Or we should care and say it's a city easement.
Well, I don't care who owns it. Robert Street is the city's responsibility. The rest is the landowner's responsibility. But it just seems to me that you cannot, under the circumstance, have that back area not accessed from the street.
It is accessed right now by the end of Roberts because it's not split.
But-
You're worrying about the future.
Right, that's,
I'm worried about tomorrow.
Yes, that's.
I mean, it's not even that far down the road, but how can you allow this to happen? How could we allow this to happen? It doesn't make any sense to me.
He'd be losing a valuable tenant. If he cut off access to the back of his building, he would lose the lottery commission being on his site. He would be losing a tenant that would have to move out and find a more accessible structure.
I don't think you're talking about losing the access of it. I think we're trying to guarantee the
Guarantee
access to the next parcel split, which we anticipate would happen
Yeah.
to the west.
Right.
But I mean, he's making a good point. So say if they do develop this, he's not going to develop it without there being access for this back triangular parking. 'cause-
Correct.
Yeah, it would make it unmarketable.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
have you been around here for a while? I've seen all sorts of stuff. I'm not going to guarantee anything. That was my electrician. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he could say, you can come in off of Schaefer.
Yeah.
he can't come in off of Schaefer if he builds on this.
But how can you allow,
It's this triangle that would get cut off, because the front parking would have, this front parking would be accessible from Union Street and Roberts. This area would be accessible either from Byard or Schaefer.
not from
It's what happens
That'd
to
be
this
terrible.
Not
triangle.
from
That'd
Byard.
be terrible.
You can't do Byard.
Yeah, but it has an elevation problem. Doesn't mean it can't be
Both sides.
graded.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say applaud the tree commission. It's a much better parking lot than the one in the old center. But from my point of view, it's a little sticky problem that has to be resolved, and that is access to the back. And I don't see it as being solved by going over his own property, when in effect,
Well, why not? Why can't he go over his own property?
well, I don't know. I mean, then why isn't it on the drawing that way? Why don't you just put it on the drawing and make the parcel bigger?
Well,
It is, it's confusing, because that parcel is absent. is what's
We
strange.
submitted the original tidy.
Okay.
If you want to
Sorry.
see full drawing.
Yeah.
But does it have a parcel, a separated parcel?
I think we might just be looking at a graph
Are
that's
we
not
going
showing.
to vote on this today? Because Andy said he needed some more time on some things.
No, he didn't.
Is that true?
Well, he said checked preliminary.
Yeah.
That's
And we're responding to his report right
No, I
now.
mean preliminary to me means preliminary, sorry.
Yeah, he always gives.
So this is still preliminary.
agree to it, right?
No, they're seeking a vote today. Am I correct in understanding?
Yes.
Full park,
Okay.
right here. As you can see, Colson and...
That doesn't solve the problem of this right here. I know, I'm being obnoxious, but I don't really think,
No, you're
I just
being-
think it's something that we need to
So
do
all
to protect
this-
our future.
All of this
Is
belongs to
asphalt.
this. It's all asphalt.
It's all asphalt.
Then why is it tucked so, why don't they run the driveway on the Laughlin side of the building, HDL side of the building if that's what's going on? I mean, why is it so tightly inscribed?
That is a
Yeah,
cut
why
there.
don't we move this, or,
You know,
is that what Nancy's saying?
Because-
Why can't this be, you're wanting this to be a throughway all the way on that
The
side?
reason
just-
being is because the actual zoning splits right through the center line of Roberts.
Oh, okay.
But now you've got,
Part
but that
over
isn't
here,
Roberts
part
though,
three. Well, but
Up to
that's
there.
where the line is.
on the eastern
If you
side.
look at the zoning map behind you, this part here is R3. Over here.
So I'm back saying what I said before about maxing out the use of the property and externalizing, it seems to me.
Should we just, why don't we just make a motion to rezone the R3 part of that parcel, so all of it, since this is getting developed as M, so all the whole parcel is M?
I don't think the people over here would want to. Mary, you speak to that from your...
The residential, no
It's
residential.
all residential over here.
No, he
Isn't
just
this
said the
residential
parcel.
here? This is M.
Yeah.
I know, but that's
So
about this way.
And it's
up
just the
Schaefer.
same parcel.
But
These
Why
are-
would-
These are these.
I think this was two parcels. There's no
It's not too far.
why would it have been?
how far back would we go before we
We
find
would
it?
no one would have ever split the parcel with the zone.
Oh, yes, we got a few other lots like that around town.
Somebody needs to
This is
do
why
a deed
Nancy's
search.
concerned about the easements, because
Yeah.
in the past, it's been done.
Look at University Estates, the whole thing.
Oh, don't talk about that, just talk about this.
So, in essence,
That's
So
confusing.
basically, you take two of these and put them on their side eventually in
They
there.
could.
but
Someday this could be.
this
all.
remains open. This curb cut is remaining open,
Yeah.
correct?
This,
Yes.
we'll have a curb cut right in there. No, that curb.
That's
right-
the existing
Yeah,
one.
we're
That's what
not
I'm
showing,
saying.
we're not showing this curb cut.
Right, I'm not asking for that.
Yes, right,
So this is an access?
right, correct.
But there's no access to the back.
No, it is.
No access. Oh, okay.
No, but she's saying this curb cut comes in, yeah.
But you can't park in the back without going out.
Yes.
You could come in this way with a truck, come across
Yeah,
and leave like
they
that.
can do that too.
But you're still not staying on the, you're not staying on the
She's fine.
property,
Yeah, that's
as I see it. Because you've delineated it. You've delineated it with those trees.
What?
Probably what was there.
We're trying to fit the right number of trees on the property.
What you could do is flip the building around, then there'd be no problem.
This was our, we spent months coming up with this scheme. and-
Months, huh?
Yeah, months.
I like the trees, I do.
So you want the trees but not the building?
Oh, no, I just want recognition of the fact that they're maxing it out with the, to their advantage, but I think there are externalities that are going to affect the city in the future, bottom line.
Okay, the externalities being the actual access to the second lot.
To the
off the
second
shape.
lot, yes.
To the triangular piece,
Second lot.
Yes,
especially.
yes.
Okay, if you were going to make a motion to accept the preliminary on this, would you want to put something in writing or words to the effect that we are concerned about the access to that second parcel?
Now I'm going to vote against it.
Oh, well, that'll work too.
Or, I guess I would like to make a recommendation that they split the lots, according
Yeah.
to zoning.
Yeah,
And I
That's even
think that's
better.
coming, but we can't make them, can we?
what? I don't know if you can make them or not.
Anymore. We just asked this gentleman to
Yeah.
split his lots a certain
To
way.
be better
Well.
planners.
We just did it with Charles Riddle, who was in here, to split his lots a certain way, so I'm not quite sure why this would be any different.
I would like to be absolutely sure there's no right-of-way continuation, too. Back in the deeds. If you've done a deed search back, then it should, I guess I'm,
Yeah, I think, again, it's the only issue is you got, it looks like 14 parking spots in the back of this development, let's call it, instead of parcel or lot, that could conceivably be cut off if the next area was developed
here.
poorly.
Correct.
I know.
Okay.
They're not, that's just Harold being Harold,
Right,
not giving up parking spots.
exactly.
It's not, we don't need them for the building. We have our 30 out front. We have 3 or 4 in the back of the building for staff, and that's it.
He likes extra parking whenever possible.
Believe me, I didn't have those on.
No,
a
I
couple weeks
understand
ago.
that. I guess I'm saying if for some strange reason this other part was developed poorly and you would lose these parking spots, the ability to park to access this area and access to the dumpsters, at
oh,
that
another
point,
question.
it'd have to be redeveloped. But again, they have all these other parking area that they could just extend the project.
They could just put the dumpster on the front.
Which are totally empty these days.
Exactly.
They're not being rented.
Um,
They're generating
supposed to be
heat,
part-
they're generating heat, they're heating our,
Well, thanks
You
to
wanna
the
get into
tree,
the
But now the
global
tree,
warming.
exactly.
the tree commission did it, yay!
you know?
We're all for that.
I think the lot split makes sense, just, down the road, if they were tore that down for some reason and did something else. Not that they will now.
Right.
obviously, but-
All right, I'm going to do it this way, it's a little different, but does everyone say aye if you agree to put this to a vote today? That you need no further information, that at least the information presented here is sufficient for you to give a yes or a no vote, say aye. This is not a vote for or against the
He's
project.
trying to
This is-
see where
Are we
he's
going to
going.
proceed with the vote?
He's being a
I make a motion that we
leader.
vote on this project.
I'll second that motion. Again, the vote we're talking about, though, is a preliminary approval. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely, it is
Except they
preliminary.
won't come back to us.
It
Is
doesn't
that
come
correct?
back.
That is correct. What it
Doesn't
is,
come back.
this is the final approval through Title 41 through the Planning Commission,
Right.
and then they go to the state and get their state building permit. And any of these small comments that Andy has on his drawings, when they bring it back, him and I will verify that they met the stuff that is required. Some of them are obsolete because they are in regards to fire suppression system, and the building doesn't even have one. So,
So they want to address the issues that I have, again, when we vote.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's what our understanding is.
Yeah.
Our vote today contingent upon whatever we attach to it is final.
The lottery commission has to be out of the building by the end of October. It's one of the, could we have started earlier? I don't know, but,
Seems to me like you're starting now, which is a whole separate issue. The
Well,
fact that there are
we're removing-
moving equipment down there.
we're removing asphalt from the site, including the curb cuts where the trees are going to go.
Does require a permit.
So the lottery needs to be able to get through there through October.
To move in?
I mean,
It has to be built by October.
It has to be built by the end of October, or they're out on the street, because the Ohio University is moving all those tenants, non-university tenants, out of that building.
right, but what I'm saying is that right now, until that happens, do the businesses that are in the HDL Center need to go through, I guess, what is like,
No.
No.
They can
No, they're
get in right
separate.
now.
The gates,
They're in the old building, HCL building, so
The
they
only-
can park, drive in past the...
yeah, the gate's closed off of that lot. The only one that's actually using it right now is the license people who use that little stretch to do parallel parking.
I remember.
And I don't know where they're going to relocate, but they'll have to.
I do.
Oh, he does.
But I can't publicly say, I guess.
Okay, discussion, Nancy, would you like to put the motion of what, are there contingencies that you'd like to see in place on the project? Such as if the other portion of the parcel is to be developed,
Nicholas, it's now or never, the way I see it. Take care of it now or else let the chips fall for the future. I agree, I like what you said about splitting the parcel along the zone in the future. I think that was probably the best I've heard.
I would like to think, if I'm here and any future director, that they would consider that parking or access to the rear of this has to be considered on any lot split. It's a given.
Yes.
I would think.
Well, there are lots
Yeah.
of givens around here. Have you looked at, and then look at the way it tucks in. What if something happened? Oh, it's not very straightforward, bottom line.
I do find it interesting that the comment on traffic was use should not impact traffic on West Union. I would contend that any building, whether it be a business or the future apartment complex, increases traffic, but I just...
well, I guess this one you consider it's an existing use on Union, it's just being moved out. If you think the university having less of a vehicular impact,
No, they'll probably have more.
I think they make everyone walk at the, I think it's design and construction at the HDL Center now too, so, all right,
Can we have either a right of, if I were making the motion, I would say we accept it contingent upon assuring that there's neither if there is a right-of-way, okay, nothing will be used on the right-of-way will not be used, in an older deed, or that an easement be granted to future development.
Upon lot split?
Upon lot
so
split.
it's, again,
But see, it's still,
granting to itself.
nobody will, yeah. What?
It was back to that granting to itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's,
what's R3, side lot setback, what is that?
8 and 20 combined. 8 minimum, 20 feet combined.
So say, for example, a lot split did occur, and it got developed, and we would be requesting the 20-foot have to be to the east side. Because M doesn't have any side lot setback. So now you have a 20-foot basically setback
For the driveway.
for the driveway.
You're losing me.
it's not tough.
This setback would essentially become the easement, I think, is what
Yeah.
this is saying. Because since this is R3, you'd have to have
Unless it's a PUD.
a setback right there.
We'd have to see, exactly.
Yeah.
If there's multiple buildings coming in, who knows? They might want to come in with commercial buildings. It's all speculation right now. And the other part of it is, it'd probably be a rear yard setback if we look at Schaefer as the front. So it depends how the future project's laid out. We can't really,
It could be a PUD, though, too.
it could, if there's
Yeah.
multiple buildings there, it sure would be.
Right, and then if it's a PUD, we'd have also much more say in.
If it comes in at the last minute,
Wouldn't it still be coming in as Title 41 if we put anything in there, the second lot?
If they do, first thing they'll have to do is a lot split.
Yes.
And the second thing then would be the number of buildings. It could be coming as a Title 41 or a PUD.
So they would come in as a lot split in front of us as a lot split. If not, then they'd have to come in as a Title 41 or PUD.
Correct.
We will see the second lot one way or the other.
That
Yes.
is correct.
Okay. But you have no faith that we'll be the same type of people, the same mindset?
I have no faith. I think it's too loose, it's too good. But let me go back and ask the architect, is it the case that you have a stack of deeds on your desk that show this back to the original survey?
No, I do not have a stack of...
It was OU's lot and then railroad lot.
No, it's been Harold Laughlin's lot for quite some time.
But, well, yeah, I mean,
I don't
but
know
I can
before
remember
that.
when it was OU's HDL Center, and there were, the railroad tracks went through there also, didn't they?
That's what the
Yeah.
lot buyer
Right,
did to the
right.
rear.
And that was 70s. I mean,
Right.
that's recent to me.
Right. I came in the 70s.
Nancy's saying that one time the university owned this parcel,
did the railroad.
sold it to Harold Laughlin, who
Right.
proceeded to build on it and rented it back to them, and now
Right.
sold it to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So the history is, it's kind of flipped a couple times between.
right. Between those two.
See, and I don't like the railroad rights-of-way are often pretty strange. Having done the
I thought
station
CHS
project.
sold everything to everybody.
Well, if they
there.
could sell it, but I think we have had experience on Mulberry Street and some other places where
Who
they're,
owns what?
about who owns what, yes. There's no question right now, but I'd like to still know if that right-of-way is there, but maybe the,
What you'd like to get is a title search for this whole parcel. That's
I
what
don't,
you're
yeah,
asking.
well, I don't know. I'd just like to know for sure what other little stink bombs are inside of it.
I would have thought Harold would have done that for, when he bought the property, right?
He owns a fee simple absolute in his own mind, right?
Yeah,
But,
He does, but he doesn't have to tell us.
right.
I don't know how far the auditor's office went back, but when I discovered there was two parcels with the same parcel number that weren't even attached, they did their share of work and called me yesterday and got it cleared up, so.
And when you say cleared up,
They ended up giving the triangular piece behind the HDL Center its own parcel number. I believe it's where Laughlin's vending business is, where his trucks park.
you're talking about on the stuff on the other side of Bayard?
Mm-hmm.
The north side of Bayard?
Yep, behind the HDL.
Yeah, right there. It would be right here.
do you remember how many tracks were there, Paul?
No, it isn't.
Two?
I know what you're talking about.
Three?
though.
There's actually a lot
It's where the university...
here,
Yes.
Byard and Smith, that had this had the same parcel number as that.
So the assumption being that this
Assumption
always
is
one
that at one
parcel.
time, this was all one parcel, that this piece then got broke out when the HDL Center was exchanged or built or whatever.
Right.
Well, the railroad went right over, and you can see actually where the railroad went.
Okay,
See, which makes me think the access.
that being said, I guess we'll go with the clean version. Is there a motion to accept this Title 41 site plan review as is with all the comments included, especially Andy Stone's, the Engineering and Public Works, as well as by the Athens Police Chief and Athens Fire Department, of course, go through final plan submittals for all the required utility and storm work.
And nothing to do with the easement or roadway or
And
access?
yeah, going with nothing.
Turn
to do-
radius, no comments about turn radiuses are in.
And no trailers.
Quality of
Just a
the-
sign.
Quality of the road and responsibility for that.
You're talking about if the road gets torn up?
Yes, which is certainly will. And add it to your list.
Okay. I mean, I guess it's hard for the city to zone a place as manufacturing and then say you can't have trucks and things in here associated with manufacturing. So,
That's absolutely right. But there's not a turn radius on that border between an R3 and an M1. That's adequate to a larger truck, is there?
Well, how is the lottery, are the trucks getting in there now for the lottery?
There's no building
department?
there now, is there?
But no, I'm saying the lottery department, they're having, or the lottery commission is having deliveries now that are adequately getting around the Athens roads.
They might be coming actually in through Byard in the back area, which is pretty tight as well.
Yeah,
It's got
there's-
an incline, and it's, I guess they can back it in through Pratt, I guess.
We drew the wrong truck on there, the computer symbol, and I think that's been,
Well, even without the long truck, there's still a problem with access given the way it's configured right now, in my mind, because it's somebody's...
because right
moving
now,
through it.
the truck can pull all the way up to Schaefer Street, almost, and back up to the site, because Harold Laughlin owns that whole site.
Yeah.
That's quite a turning radius.
No, the turn radius down on Union Street where they have to go into
Yeah.
that very tight place. That's not going through Schaefer Street.
I don't know how the garbage trucks get into the Colson PUDs there, but I think
Probably.
I think they're doing Colson and Roberts, but I don't know which way they go when they do.
And that's more the size of the vehicle we're talking about.
I mean, but you can't promise that, and I can't do an easement, so we're even, I guess.
Well, I don't know that we couldn't include language that states that access to the remaining parcel has to remain
It
there.
would have to be enforced.
It would be enforced with the next time they have to come in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
We
I
can
mean-
reference it.
I-
Right now, it's all one parcel.
I-
It's,
But it's only been one parcel for 30 years. I mean, it was railroad tracks for a while, or maybe even 20 years.
yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
guess
not
we-
averse to adding that language.
I guess adding the language is no different than not adding the language. Do you know what I mean? Because
It takes more
it's
time.
the assumption. No, hear me out for a second. The thing is, we're saying, well, we don't have any faith that the next planning commission, when this project comes up, that they're going to ask the same type of questions that we're asking now. So how are we going to have faith that, well, if we put this in with this, that someone in the next planning commission is going to research this development and see what we had said at the time? If they're going to do that, they're going to ask these same questions.
It's all, right now, though, I mean, I asked about the deeds, and they don't have a stack of deeds, so they don't really know that it was once part of the railroad, and all of it was combined into a single deed, apparently, with different parcels. So I think you start at the moment and then go back as far as you have to go. I mean, not to disrespect the next planning commission, but...
Well, in all likelihood, if they wanted to they're going to come in for the lot split, couldn't the easement then be contingent? Or getting the lot split would be contingent upon accepting the easement.
Okay, the question arises, how would the next planning commission know that?
And the
3
fact
years,
that
5 years?
the other portions of this parcel actually does have other access. Not ones we like, but there are,
Six Point
access
Road.
to public. As an aside, and I don't know how much, you're tracking, we plan on doing a major West Union Street water line replacement next year, and it would go from Schaefer to High, and we're going to look at improving this area and curb cuts and pedestrian access, because the university is indeed starting to occupy that West Union Office Center and at the
Or
same
you just go
time.
back to accepting what Nancy's saying.
But I'm sure Harold will work with us
People
on
are
it.
just
He wants to work with you on
don't leave it
that
for the
street,
next
Robert
one.
Street.
Have to decide and just make the
He just,
decision now.
it's right-of-way issues.
Right.
What does that mean? He wants to...
I'm not sure.
It doesn't
That's
make
the
any...
first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Did you want to enlighten us on the work
What
with
that
us
means?
on Robert Street?
Yeah, I've talked to,
That curb I was talking
yeah,
about.
that curb.
Needs to be extended, widened.
We would, yeah, where we're going to put our curb cut, we want to extend a 2-foot apron towards the city right-of-way as part of the, plan of widening that street. Right now, it's shown and dotted there.
I have the picture, Roberts.
I don't believe that the city engineer looked at that. John, did you share that with them?
Do you have C1?
I think it's in the documents.
See one?
Yeah, here's C1. There's the edge of the existing street, dotted line.
And you want to extend this Wider, make it wider.
This is the property line, right?
Oh, jeez, I think this is all Nancy really cared about.
Yeah, we should wait a moment. She stepping back in?
Yeah, I think so. I think she...
She has to,
I thought you guys had this.
No, we're...
well, we did, but it's a smaller version right
yeah.
here.
How can we see that?
I don't think she was aware of that, Dave. It sounded fine.
Yeah, so this is surveyed in the dotted, this is
Right.
the street. This is the edge of the property line. We were willing, whether a curb cut was here, and do a 2-foot extension in that direction, but it means going off our property towards the city right away.
What's he talking about? You mean onto Colson?
No, this is Roberts.
I see this is Roberts, and
Yeah.
here's Union.
Yes. And so, I mean, so there, but we have this kind of void, what happens in here?
What is he talking about?
Wait, I thought you were meaning going the other way.
This
Yeah.
is the street, this is the existing street right now.
And this, you're not talking about any improvements or widening off of West Union, which is the entrance onto Roberts.
Not at this point.
See, that's
So-
what I thought you were talking about. I'm sorry.
That's what I was concerned earlier.
I know, which is, when I'm talking about improvements that we're going to be doing down here.
Yeah,
Why-
I
why are
think
you-
what we were I think what Nancy's ultimately after, if I don't want to speak for her, is if this is Roberts,
Yes.
if instead of doing that is if your curb was over, if it was over here, so that in a sense, even though Roberts is only this big, part of your property included an extension of Roberts, really.
Correct. And when I said the apron, this is not curb, but this is at street height. And so
Okay.
ultimately, yeah, the curb, I'm sorry. would
The
have to
curb
be
is there.
Right on the property
Couldn't
line.
make it out.
But we were, and that's shown as a detail right there.
That's right here.
This,
Detail right
this
here.
detail right here. Our curb is still on our property line, but we
No, you would
wanted to
extend
towards the right of way.
2 feet.
2 feet into it, or 2 feet, whatever, that's sort of an arbitrary dimension right now, but could be.
They were talking about, they're gonna extend Roberts 2 feet. It's beyond
Wider.
the property line, but the actual level of Roberts would extend 2 feet. What was that?
I just, the right-of-way and the roads and the lack of
I
correspondence.
don't understand, what would be are you talking about the entire length of Roberts from Union
Yeah.
to Colson?
Yes, up to our curb cut off of that one, yes.
Making it a wider, even though the right-of-way by the city of Athens says manufacturing, they're saying they don't feel like it's sufficient. They're gonna add 2 feet to the roadway. Not give it,
The right-of-way came before the zoning code by far, I think, Mick. They probably platted this really early.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
but
sheet is that?
SD2.
It's not in the little set there, yeah. Andy didn't have any
SD?
comments on it.
Does
Right here.
Andy know about this?
I don't
He
think
doesn't
so.
know about
He
it.
doesn't, he hasn't, he's got STs. I don't see any
Yeah.
SDs.
is there an...
What, it was that, do you have to have the curb right up against the right-of-way?
This detail needs to be worked out, and I expressed
Yeah.
this with David last night, with Andy, because the curb would be the property line. The concrete gutter they're talking about is extending 2 foot into the right-of-way line.
Oh, it's
There's no
into the
guarantee-
right-of-way.
No
Okay.
guarantee
have to
even
get
that
council
that
permission.
concrete curb reaches the current line.
See, I
of
thought the
asphalt.
property line is at the right-of-way, and then you got that curb.
There's no
Okay.
guarantee that that concrete curb even reaches the edge of the asphalt. So there's no guarantee on this yet.
Right.
That, and I, that,
If he's using the right-of-way, he has to get council permission.
it's going to probably need a bond and everything else. I mean, we talked about that.
Yes.
So,
Why not just scoot
You're
that whole
moving
thing
dirt
over?
now.
I guess why not scoot the 2 foot curb over to the east? And then so that you got that curb and then the Roberts, so the right-of-way is right there
you
where
still
they
have a
meet.
gap between the
We
edge
can
of
do that, we were just trying to, so now we have a bigger gap. We're
Oh, because
trying-
the Roberts isn't
Yeah.
improved all the way to the right-of-way.
Right.
I see.
We're willing, we'll move.
I see where you're coming
We'll
from.
move our
Okay.
apron right to our edge of our property and have our curb 2 feet over, and then you have this no man's land between the actual paved surface and our work.
Yeah.
Bike lane? No, sorry.
I don't think you need a bike lane.
Yeah. That's a
okay.
strange handling.
For those houses that
I
abut.
think one of the things I was sitting here before was a motion and a second to whether we vote on this today.
I think it sounds, the more I'm hearing,
Yeah, it
there's some more
seems like
confusion out
there's
here.
a lot more questions, unfortunately.
So I don't know if it's gonna, we're gonna be able to vote on this one way or the other today.
Could we gather all our questions and call a special session? Because as you know, the next meeting is July 4th, which we know won't happen.
Can we call a special section next week at the same time?
What? Okay. Actually, I know somebody wants to use this room at 1:30, so the time's clicking.
Okay.
I mean, are you around next week at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, we don't want this to keep dragging, obviously, and, my concern is,
If we move the curb off, just off,
Right.
beyond the 2 feet beyond, what's the issue about this particular building? If I literally, we'll move the curb over, we'll start our apron at our property line, and then what's the issue?
I mean, is there,
I think part of the issue is that I don't think our work director is aware of this issue, as even if this discussion is going on. I may be wrong on this.
I know. John, I'm sorry. You're telling me Andy did review this? I was aware.
I would. How do water lines come on here?
Do you need clarification from Andy that he did review that aspect of it?
Could,
Since he's taking responsibility for a big strip of road.
but then are we going to vote on this with conditions and that being one of them?
we've done that before?
But
Can I see it, John?
council has to act if it's on the right of way, doesn't it?
Pardon me?
He
Council
cannot-
would have to act if it's on the right of way.
Yeah.
Well, I think David was suggesting, though, they would agree to move any of their improvements over to the right-of-way edge.
So they wouldn't be on the right of way, council would.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then there'd be
I'm
a-
sorry I even brought that up.
No,
It was Harold's effort to,
It's better it's brought up now, so don't worry.
I mean, he does list show proposed access details, fence versus curb cuts versus curb at Colson Roberts intersection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, that is
We
in there.
looked at that sheet then.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta assume he...
yeah, his ST is not a drawing number, right? It's just his street
Yeah.
notes.
All right.
I think,
Go ahead, Art.
I think my question has always been, as far as like on Roberts, there's no sidewalk for the apartments that abut, I mean, it's right up on, basically up on the street. What happens in that situation? First of all, should there have been a,
I think that came in as a plan unit development,
okay.
one of the early ones.
So,
We added
Mr. Logue, I know that you had, within the past year and a half,
Taken
done the
plans out, too.
safe paths or sidewalks to street, excuse me
Safe paths
for...
to school?
Sorry.
That's not the
Was this...
the sidewalk pedestrian master planning? Is that what you're...
Well, no, the study was done basically where the sidewalks are missing in the city of Athens. Would this fall under that, where any improvement has to include a sidewalk?
With Roberts and Colson,
Yeah.
we would have identified the streets that don't have sidewalks. We did not, at least in my recollection, we would not have identified that as a priority
Okay.
based on limited population
Right.
there, as well as the fact that Union and Schaefer both have sidewalks, so
Okay. So these were considered kind of...
anything that would probably be utilized as a shortcut.
Right.
And that's probably how it's primarily utilized today, but.
What happens though when the other side is developed?
We'll have to deal with it then. I can't tell,
Really good question.
the West Union project will indeed include the sidewalk improvement, just like all our other projects. We do
Right.
utilities, and we'll do the sidewalk curb, and we'll do
On the right of way.
asphalt. Correct. But
That's West Union, not Roberts.
could be assigned to property owners that own property on down there that'll have to get their sidewalks repaired.
But then they won't have any property to develop a sidewalk on.
No, they won't.
All right, is the... Well, go ahead, Nancy.
No, I'm just talking.
Okay.
She was just.
You can talk afterwards.
Yeah, but then it'll be too late.
I'm going to proceed, and we can see how this goes, but I would like to put forward a motion to accept this with the conditions set forth in the staff reviews, as well as getting confirmation from Andy Stone that SD2, the details were all acceptable to him. And then one other condition, I know Char's typing all this, is that detail, and in reference to detail, detail 2A SD2, 2A SD2, that the concrete gutter would not extend into the city right away.
And by
Correct.
definition, it can't, because now it's in not conformity.
Right.
It's in violation, and it's no longer Title 41.
Right, and we could be broader with it, that nothing will be in violation of.
Well, no, I mean,
41,
the
I'm just-
basic premise is there's no
Right.
variances required in a Title 41.
Right,
There's
right.
no,
Right. And that's what we saw, or that was brought forth, that would require variance, so that can't be. So either that detail is stricken, or it's modified
Yeah,
to.
we'll remove that detail. We'll just go
Okay.
back to a regular curb.
Okay.
Could you be, in your motion, a little bit more specific on how you expect the Director of Public Works to deal with this? If he has a problem with it, to come back to us, or will he just knuckle under, or what's?
I think they have to satisfy
Is
the
that
requirements.
That's
that
what's,
true?
yeah, and it's time and time again, it has happened, and we've seen where we've recommended Title 41s, and then, it'd be 6 months, I think we've seen a year before it totally got approval, and, and it's not because anyone's dragging their feet, it's just because it's going back through multiple iterations.
I agree. The example is the storm sewer on Mill Street, and that's one that's drug out forever.
So I mean, I do feel confident that when we recommend something, that all the city does perform their due diligence.
I have
So that's
huge
fine.
confidence in Andy.
Okay.
That's how he,
So that is the motion, those three items. Basically, again, the staff review, making sure Andy Stone's comfortable with SD2, and the third one is removing the concrete curb gutter detail, or modifying it so it's not in the right-of-way. Any
I'll second.
other items? Okay.
oh, other items?
Or other items to add to that, or? All right, Mary, you just second that?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? One opposition. Any abstaining? Okay. All right, it has been recommended.
could we
41.
have, could we have a report back on this incidentally? Because this is relatively complex, and it's kind of,
Absolutely.
and things were changing like as it was going through. I don't like that. I'd rather have it all come to us in a form that we can look at it.
Shar, could you expedite the minutes on this one? At least on this item, it doesn't have to be the complete minutes. And then, John, also just give us constant feedback when you start to see plans coming back.
Beginning with getting a permit for the work that's already started today, or having the work cease until a permit has been issued.
Well, I think you're going to get removed.
Yeah. I think it does have to be removed, doesn't it?
No, we're going to get removed.
All right, I thank you very much for your time answering
Yes,
all the questions.
certainly.
Appreciate that.
Sure.
Any further discussion on case number 1306?
Too late now.
All right, let's move on. Communications, I don't have any, I believe
You
this
have it.
memorandum, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I personally don't have any, but there's a memorandum from Deborah Walker, the clerk of the city council. It is a zoning designation for annexation request. I will read it to you. In accordance with Athens City Code, Section 23.02.03, Item E, interpretation of boundaries, property annexed to or consolidated with the city shall receive zoning designation by the planning commission. Commission shall transmit its recommendation to the city council for amendment of the zoning map. Athens City Council requests that you consider this zoning designation and forward your recommendation for the following. Approximately 2.037 acres at 2 Ridgeview Drive, for the proposed annexation area. See attached map. And it is, looks like bordered by Ridgeview Drive and County Road 33A. Is that Pomeroy?
Palmer
Okay.
Road. Further, you,
Yeah, there you go.
And the house that's on it does sit facing the Stanforth property, doesn't it?
is there is there a house on this property? Right.
Is the access is from Ridgeview Drive, but it faces...
No, I think there's a little, there's not a little road down there. I mean, like,
Ridgeview is,
oh, I know Ridgeview, but I meant the other one. Isn't that one that's 218?
Gravel road that goes by the house and then to the parcel behind it. It's no longer-
But the house, doesn't the house face that gravel?
is that a road or driveway?
Yeah, driveway.
It's a driveway. I don't know any other road down there.
Okay.
The abutting corporation line, existing corporation line is R1 zone, is that what I seem to recall? Okay.
What is LL, what's the L, do you have this in front of you, John? Sorry.
Here's the copy.
Yeah. There's an LL.34 and LL.32 line, and it's saying it's contingent. Do you know what that means?
It's like lot line.
Lot line, 34 and 32.
Yeah, it looks like it's spliced.
But it's all considered that 471679, right?
Here you go again with a number I can't
Yeah. I
find.
don't
Where is
understand. Why
it?
did they do this?
Oh, it isn't two parcels.
Well, that's what I'm trying to
But
figure out.
they're tied
It's not
continuously and contiguously,
Right, the
that's the
total
little
acreage,
Z.
the total acre. That's what I'm saying.
Doesn't add
Does it's missing a whole 2 or so acres almost.
This is being chopped off from the rest of it. If I look at the rest of the stuff there, there's another
It does look like
1.5
it's missing an
acres.
acre somewhere.
Are you saying that? Described it as being over 2 acres. It is, 2.037.
So if you
But
add,
if you look at these,
Yeah, I can't figure out what those would be adding up unless it's the. It doesn't make sense that. I thought it would maybe be the length of that lot line there, but they wouldn't be so different.
We don't have to make a recommendation today on this. On the other hand, it's probably going to come in as R1.
everything else is R1 if you look at it.
Yes, I know.
so,
I mean, I would
Yeah.
put forward a motion that we accept it upon clarification. I mean, that,
Of the size.
yeah,
I think it's supposed to be 1.757.
no, that might, yeah, that math would still not quite work.
Accepted into the zoning designation.
R1.
Yeah, I would still recommend that either it's, all right, my motion is to recommend this with an R1 designation either for the whole lot or both of them if it turns out to be.
Well,
It has to be the whole lot.
Yeah.
They're tied together continuously.
what is that now?
I say it's for the entire 2.037 acre parcel lot, 2 lots that are tied continuously.
Okay. That would be sufficient.
Second, did we
All
get
right.
that far?
So the recommendation, as suggested by John Pasca, which I think is, that it's for the continuous and contiguous 2.037 acre lot owned by Jules David Sturgis, would be R1, zoned R1. That is what we would be recommending. Is the
I'll
zone.
second your motion as long as you will add the deed number to it.
The 471-679.
Yeah. So that talks about continuous, contiguous, I
Okay.
guess.
Thank you.
Got that, Shirley?
Thanks, Sean. All right,
She's quick.
any objections or not objections, just say for the comments?
No.
All right, one second that. Nancy, you said you
I seconded it.
I apologize.
I just
All those in
want to-
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Anyone abstaining? Any further discussion?
Nope.
All right, thank you. Any other communications? We have time, I don't know if we have time, but,
We don't.
We have, it's our meeting until it gets done.
wow.
Let's do it.
All right, sorry. Reports from city planner and code enforcement. Any comments? Things that we, pressing matters?
I'll give one comment. The FEMA flood risk information public meeting, again, I know I've mentioned this several times in the past, it will be on July 11th at 4 PM at the community center. It is an open house for anybody in the public who wants to meet with FEMA and ODNR and city and county administrators and officials, ask questions about flood risk, flood map changes, flood insurance, et cetera.
With the anticipation of flood
The
premiums are going to go
anticipation
up.
of new flood maps coming, yes.
Yes.
And that a flood will come too.
Good news.
And I have a question for the Essence of Athens. How's that? It's almost done, end of the month.
As far as the public comment part, yeah, we're, the next Friday, it's going really well, actually. I've gotten feedback and comments from about, I think, 40 or 50 people already, which I thought was a really good number. We've got about 220 or 30 people that are following it on their Facebook page, which was an extraordinary number, I thought, for how quickly we put that together. So far, it's going really well.
Good to hear. Ms. Paskey?
Very quickly, BZA meeting last week, 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. 102 West Union requested a variance for 0 parking spaces for a Thai restaurant on site, where 6 were required. That variance did pass 4-1. So you probably have seen the construction or replacing the roof on that building right now. And since we won't be here before the next meeting, as of right now, we have 2 cases for July. One of them is for a variance for mark that wrong. It's for a sign, that it's wrong in the minutes here, I have to look at it. For a sign for AutoZone, they wish to have a second freestanding sign on their property, which are...
AutoZone is
They're in with the...
East State Street?
Yeah.
The mall.
I see
And
that.
they're in with the other buildings there, so it's an aggregate of 100 square feet are allowed for all the businesses, and then there's already one sign there that has that, so they're wishing to have their own. So that's one of them, and then the second one is for basically a front structure, a patio overhang with solar panels on the Village Bakery at 268 East State Street. And it does come into the front setback, so.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any questions for the planner? Code enforcement? All right. Announcements and other business, as Paul had mentioned, the next meeting is tentatively scheduled for July the 4th. I believe the city does not,
We're not open that day.
not open your doors.
He's a-
So do you want to reschedule it entirely or just abandon it? We have cases that we anticipate?
Nothing I can think of.
So we'll just meet on the 18th?
15.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor of meeting the 18th, say aye. All right. Well, you were going to meet the 18th anyway, so.
Right.
But, okay,
That was an easy
if some
one.
cases come up, we might want to reschedule.
The only case I can think of would be the hotel, and they've told me they're coming in for the meeting, having everything into me August 1 and meeting it August 15.
Okay,
Good.
so that would be. All right, any other announcements to make?
Everything.
All right, if that's nothing else, we are adjourned. I did not make up the 10 minutes. It's on me, okay?
Okay.